Right, hello Year 11. Today we're going to go through our conflict and tension East meets West mock exam with you to help give you some guidance on how best to approach this style of exam. Now the first thing I just want to draw out is that in the front of your exam it will say this, an hour and 45 minutes. Now that hour and 45 minutes is for you to complete both sections. So that is your conflict and tension and also your American expansion paper. So do not be fooled. Even though it says an hour and 45 minutes, that is not an hour and 45 for conflict and tension and then an hour and 45 for American expansion. It's an hour and 45 for both. Therefore, we are expecting you to spend roughly 50 minutes on American expansion and 50 minutes on conflict and tension. Nobody in the exam hall is going to tell you to move on to the next paper, so you have to keep a record of that yourself. All right, so please do not go over time on that, because otherwise you're just going to leave yourself even less time to complete the second part of your paper. Right, so in the exam you'll have your question booklet. You will also have your source booklet here as well. First thing you'd do is you'd open it up, you'd have a look at the sources provided for you. So we've got 3 sources here today, 2 picture sources and a written piece as well. As I'm sure you remember, your first question is always 4 marks. So 4 marks, 5 minutes, 1 paragraph. Now, this one is saying studying source A in your booklet, which is this source here. Explain your answer. So, source A supports the Soviet Union. How do you know? Explain your answer using source A and your contextual knowledge. You must bring in what you know as well. If you merely just describe the source, that will not be enough, and that will only get you roughly 2 out of 4. In order to hit 3 or 4 out of 4, you must bring in your own knowledge on this. Okay, let's have a quick look at this source then. So what is it about source A that supports the Soviet Union? How do we know? So firstly, it's a poster entitled Glory to the Soviet People, the Pioneer of Space, published in the USSR in 1958. So the first thing I'd say about this is quite what we say a triumphant pose. He looks pretty happy, pretty proud of himself there, everything that he's achieved. Also, what we're noticing here are stars. And those 4 stars, bearing on with those to do with the Pioneer of Space, are relating to the Sputniks that was sent out into space. Also, looking at our date here, we know that this is relating to our space race. So those are 3 points there that you could all help in answer this question about the Soviet Union. There's nothing there that tells you space race, so by commenting on the date, that is using your own contextual knowledge. Also, by picking up on these stars with Sputnik, again, that is using your contextual knowledge. So if you were to write a paragraph then with those 3 points there, that would be a really good 3 or 4 marks out of 4 for that first question. Moving on to the next one. Now, this is a bit of a longer one, 12 marks. If it's 12 marks, 15 minutes, 3 paragraphs. So this requires looking at our other sources, B and C. So this is B and this is C here. So now we need to think how useful are sources B and C to a historian studying opinions about the Marshall Plan. Again, explain using your answer, using the sources and contextual knowledge. So once again, we then need to not just describe what's in the source, but we need to think, what do we know about the Marshall Plan that can really help us and show our understanding of this source. So, first of all, let's have a look at this source here.